All right. We ready? Ted, you ready? James, you ready?
I'm busy playing Pokemon Unite.
Oh, God.
Were you actually?
No.
Was this going to be a bit? Were
That's
you going to do a bit?
Yeah, it was a bit.
Yeah.
It's being funny.
Not on my show, Ted.
No bits.
No bits. Take off your shirt.
No bits.
Take off your
No
shirt.
bits.
Take off your shirt if you want a podcast, Ted. Show me
That'd
what's
be
underneath.
so much work. The amount of things that
The amount of take off.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome back to the Thesideescape Gaming Podcast, episode 73. I'm your host, Jake Burke, and joined, as always, by James St. Charles and our forever guest star, the third chair himself that rotates every week right back to him, Ted Theodore Libby. How are you boys doing? Wow.
I was just thinking about what. Okay, so I wear a hat at work and a headset and glasses and a mask.
Wow.
Do you know how many things are on my face? Like, if you were like, hey, take your hat off, I have to disrobe.
You have to
There's a
wear.
lot going on.
Do you have to wear a hat at work, or you get to choose?
No,
to wear
I
a hat?
choose to because it's a lot of work in the morning to get that lift that we all have seen. And it's not worth it for a Wednesday.
Right.
So I do it for the podcast, but not today because, well, I didn't. I'm lazy.
When you get home from work, do you do your hair for the show?
No.
Oh, okay.
No,
It's just sometimes
100%
your
no.
hair's done.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will do my hair on that day for the show, but I
Right.
won't specifically take a shower for the show.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Thank you.
No
yeah,
showering
this
for the
is
show.
no showering for the show.
But enough about your morning routine, Ted, because this is the 73rd episode of the Thesideescape Gaming Podcast, where every Monday morning a new episode goes live on YouTube.com. Once a week, we Discord over 500 miles to talk about a gaming-related topic and what games we are playing. Today, we are going to be talking about Amazon's MMO New World. Not the New World. New World.
New World.
Amazon's New World. Right?
Correct.
But before... God damn it, Ted. What do you want? What do you got for me?
Is it Amazon? Is it like? Does it say Amazon?
It's Amazon Games.
I hope
Is
it
really?
says Amazon.
Is it really Amazon Games? Jeff Bezos.
It doesn't
New
say
World.
Amazon Game. Like Sid Meier's is no. It's,
Okay,
it's
no,
New
okay.
World.
Oh, okay. I was
But
really
but
hoping
it's
it did.
by Amazon Games. Okay.
You know what? It should say Jeff Bezos is
Yeah,
New
Jeff Bezos' New World.
I hear he's
Anyway.
the standard NPC character like that you see walking around is just a bunch of Jeff Bezoses. But we'll talk about that later. Because before we start, James,
Yes.
I got some news updates for you guys, okay? One is specifically about because we've been following the story on this podcast, and it's about Epic, and what I put as an update on Epic versus everyone who makes phones. This comes from Jonathan Dornbush over at IGN. Google has also countersued Epic, saying it's owed money for the purchases made on versions of Fortnite downloaded from Google Play Store. A counter-compliant, as reported by ZDNet, sees Google alleging that Epic has evaded a contractual service fee and continues to do so. The compliant alleges that after lackluster sales in Fortnite 2019, Epic launched on the Google Play Store without the intention of paying associated service fees, even saying that it was an act of deception designed to provoke litigation. The crux of the compliant comes down to Epic's decision to allow Fortnite players to pay for microtransactions using their Play Store's own payment system or a direct payment to Epic Games. The latter, which was negated any payment to Google. Google says that this broke the Developer Distribution Agreement, the DDA, and shortly afterwards Google removed Fortnite from the Play Store as a result. However, Google says that it will allow players who downloaded Fortnite from the Play Store to continue at this time playing online and continue to pay Epic directly. The company says that this continues to allow Epic to evade contractual agreed service fees to Google for those purchases. The company is seeking restitution for any such amounts by Epic, which has been unjustly enriched at Google's expense. Legal terms, there's a lot. The counterclaim also sees Google denying the 278 different allegations raised in Epic's original claim. So I just thought that was interesting. Google now suing Epic. So it rages on. We'll have another
I
episode.
think that's bad for Epic because
Yeah.
depending on if the judge looks at the Epic versus Apple kind of litigation and sort of how that was played out, now Epic is fighting a two-front, Google and Apple, and if they could end up in the same hell that they're in with Apple right now, which is 5 years of appeals.
Yeah.
So they are gonna be pain.
They're
'Cause
going
what's
to be...
gonna- yeah. So Epic sue, Google countersue. Epic probably is gonna lose. They're gonna appeal, and then we'll see.
I know. It's gonna be a long process.
You know
I'm
what?
sorry. I just really
Yeah.
like the idea of Epic having to fight on two fronts, and I'm really looking forward to Fortnite's German military uniforms coming out soon.
But can you imagine? Let's say some other game comes along, it just people stop playing Fortnite. Epic is
Sorry.
gonna
I know.
Epic is gonna really lose money
Mm-hmm.
because they're not gonna have any mobile market money, which is huge. That's like the market. Call of Duty is making so much money on their app, and it's like, yep, cool.
Yeah.
We're just doing our thing.
Yeah.
People don't realize it's $1 billion app.
Yeah.
Hopefully, a
it's-
judge will. We'll see.
I don't know.
I wonder kind of
Like,
where it goes from here, because obviously Google and Apple are fighting for their own system of collecting profit from these app purchases. So it's an interesting kind of, I don't know, change of what could happen in the marketplace. So
Listen,
don't
lose,
there's those Twitter. I'm sure those Twitter feeds that exist that just solely day by day recite like the case as it's going on in court. They're doing fine. I look them up. They're
Yeah.
hilarious.
oh, I'm sure. I'm sure.
We'll see how that goes.
All right, I got one more news thing for you, boys. Okay, and this one affects us a lot. FIFA name change? Question mark. Earlier this week, we heard rumblings that EA was going to look into changing the FIFA name. For some reason, I think they want to call it like EA Zone Soccer or something like that. We now know why. Because according to a report by the New York Times, FIFA wants to charge EA $1 billion every 4 years to use the FIFA license within its game. Additionally, the organization wants to limit EA's monetization of the game. So, yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, thought that was kind of interesting that now we know
that's wow. I mean, on the one hand, FIFA is a historically very corrupt organization, and so to think that they're money grubbing is really funny.
Yeah.
On the other hand, FIFA's biggest competitor just renamed themselves to eFootball. So
Yes.
now's the best time, I guess. You could just name it anything and be better than that.
I think they should just call it soccer.
Yeah.
No, they need like a Madden. You know, what like soccer or like announcer would you pick to like
You can call it Ronaldo.
Yeah, I was like,
call it Ronaldo.
Messi.
Ronaldo
Messi.
2023.
Yeah, Messi v
Pele.
Ronaldo. Dawn of Justice. Okay. James, you've been playing Jeff Bezos's Amazon's New World.
Yes.
You have been inside the Amazon future way we live. I want to know about this MMO. Developed by Amazon Games exclusively for it. Like, they developed the whole game, right? Amazon
Yeah,
themselves.
it is a Amazon games through and through. Yep.
Broad strokes, I want to know what you think of the game, and then I want to talk about MMOs in general, of massive multiplayer online games. So,
none of us here have played it, right? But I think you, Ted, have you seen gameplay of it?
Yeah, I watched some of the beta footages that have come out over the years. I've been keeping up to it with it slightly, although not to the extent that it's kind of blowing up on Twitch right now. Yeah, I'm aware.
So
I believe you
New
play as
World.
conquistadors, correct?
okay, so
all I know.
how the game starts is you're kind of on a ship and you're talking with someone, and it's so far in the past I can't quite remember like what you're talking about. Anyways, the ship crashes on a new world. It crashes on like some continent.
Okay.
And you like get up from the wreckage, and the people who you were like talking with, which were like conquistador looking, they probably were.
They're
get, like-
conquistadors.
I believe
They get like
the
possessed.
general phrasing is like it's piratey.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Right.
There's pirates,
but the C word conquistador never comes up, right? It's just that like Enlightenment era.
no, there's that conquistador never comes up, but they just
Okay.
look like one because they have like the little
Right.
The masks.
the
Beard,
get
the
up.
beards.
the beards and masks. Yeah.
Yep.
Anyways, it gets possessed, and you like pick up a sword, and it teaches you right away like how to fight, and then right away you get into it. You start doing
A 25-man
quests.
raid boss. Oh, okay.
You walk up to a camp, you talk to someone, and they have you go and get things. And that's New World.
Wow.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
Thank you
Okay,
so much
anyways.
for watching this. No, okay, so it is an MMO through and through. Like, did they change
Oh, yeah.
the formula?
The formula is exactly the same. In fact, I feel like how they changed it was they went backwards and they kind of removed all of the quality of life stuff that is not like, it's not like quality of life in the sense that like functions. It's like quality of life where it's like you instantly go here, you can instantly teleport here, you can instantly teleport here, you can fly here. No, there's none of that. To teleport costs. To actually like do teleport, you have to go out and do stuff in the world. You have to do quests. You have to like chop stuff down. You have to defeat corruption. The corruption is like kind of taking over the continent. You're trying to like clean it up. Kind of cool.
Is that the possession you mentioned earlier?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the corruption. Yeah, and they give you Azoth when you do this, and you spend Azoth either in settlements, which are like.
No, I'm sorry. The continent is called Azeroth, right?
No.
That's what I was saying. It sounds like the World of Warcraft.
There's different like areas, but anyways, you spend this currency to teleport to other settlements or fast travel points. You can't just fast travel anytime. The one thing you can do though is if you go into a settlement, you can book an inn, like a home, and you can recall to your home every hour, kind of thing. So that's a cool thing.
Like a Hearthstone.
Yeah, it's basically like Hearthstone. But you go to these settlements and they are like your home base where you can do like tons of stuff. Crafting, wood crafting, forging, jewelry, armor, engineer. Like it's just so many things that are old school, like almost RuneScape-esque. I think people have said RuneScape 2.0 is meant compared to. Or BDO, Black Desert Online, which is way more tedious. I think this is more of like a friendlier first timers MMO. This you get into this and you kind of know what to do. Like it'll tell you like do this to do this. But it is a grind. This is like if you like to grind, this is grinding. This is grinding 101.
Can I ask a question about this game?
Yeah, go ahead.
Did it cost $60?
No, it costs $40.
And is it a monthly fee to play?
Nope.
New World?
One time $40. That's it. That's the
great.
beauty, I think, of it. You're not paying $15-$30 a month like other MMOs. You pay a one-time fee. I have not had to buy anything. There's no incentive to buy like cosmetic stuff. Like you can buy like colored armor stuff, but there's no point.
Okay.
You also, if you watched a couple hours on Twitch, you would get drops that were like skins for the game. Of course, like that's Amazon's Twitch, so they're gonna promote their game. But yeah, anyways, you can do all that kind of crafting, and then also you can join guilds, which that's also an MMO thing, joining different guilds. And so I'm part of the Syndicate, which they're purple, great, and there's 3 guilds. There's Syndicate, there's Marauders, and then
hold on.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry to cut you off. When you say guilds, are these player created clans or are these like factions in the game?
Factions in the games.
Okay.
You can make a guild within a faction. Sorry, not guilds. Yeah.
Okay.
So there's factions you can join, and then you can have a guild in that faction. That's how it works. And so the guilds can own the settlements, which is kind of cool, and run the settlements.
Yeah.
So I'm part of the Syndicate. I haven't joined a guild. In fact, a lot of my friends are wanting to like transfer off the server we have because it's a high population server. And before we wanted to do that because you couldn't get in. But it's like there's just a lot of random people, and you can move to a low population server with all your friends and like have a pretty good time.
So how many people, when you say high population server, do you know like
2,200 I think at a time?
Holy shit.
At one time, yeah. In the server.
In one server.
Yeah. I've been in like a settlement and it was like probably like 200 people in there at a time.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people.
That's great.
So what they did was though, because like they were getting bombarded the first couple days, is they shut off new accounts to be created on the high pop server. So then you can easily get in. Yeah. Now I think they've opened it back up because it's died down. I think what's happening is the people who realizing it's a grind, it takes probably 110-20 plus hours to get max level. So there's no way people are sticking around to get max level. So they'll probably drop off the game. But for those who are sticking around, like me and some of my friends, it's kind of a blast.
Sorry, what is the combat like? You mentioned you started to learn how to fight, but is it like World of Warcraft where I click a mouse click and press 3?
No, the combat is pretty intuitive. Like I'm actively like fighting, like I would say old school Dark Souls.
Oh,
that kind of combat. It's sometimes a little jank, but for the most part, I do sword and shield are my weapons, and I have a life staff. So if you get a life staff, that basically means you're a healer.
Okay.
I guess we could talk about classes.
I was going to say, are there classes? Are you a defined class?
You can spec however you want.
Okay.
So right now, I am speccing into, so there's strength, dexterity, focus, like those kind of things, which I'm sure we're all familiar with. But those kind of coincide to the weapons you're using. So I'm going strength because that's sword and shield, and so that gives me more damage and more stuff to do with that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going dexterity, or no, focus for life staff for healing, like more healing. But I have to spec both because going just healing is not dealing enough damage, and I would just be kind of useless in a lot of fights. So I'm specking both, but at the very end, once I reach max level, I can respec and dump all my points into strength and just be like DPS, or I can dump all my points into healer and be a healer.
So when you reach
that's a
max
cool
level,
thing.
you can respec into anything.
I can respec into however I want. Yeah,
That's really cool.
That's a really cool thing, and I can, if as long as you have the weapons and like
Yeah,
the armor to do that, then beautiful. Like
that's cool.
you don't just choose like, okay, I'm gonna go tank and that's it. I have to do tank the whole time, and that's how it is for like other MMOs. So I like that about this. And then back to the combat with that. So I can switch between my sword and shield and life staff on the fly. So usually there's like a combo I do where it's like I throw down some healing kind of wards or areas, and then I fight with my sword and shield like close combat. And you can block and you can dodge. And so it's not just like fighting like little mobs and clearing and then getting through it. Sometimes especially when you're same level, it's a challenge. Like I'm actively engaged in the fight with them blocking attacks or like figuring out how to like deal the most damage.
That's cool. The combat is active.
Yeah. So the enemy types, animals, like bunch of animals, bears, alligators, like all these different types of animals. Ted was talking about pirates, bunch of different types of pirates, like pirate bosses, ones that like shoot. There's skeleton pirates. There's undead, which are like in ancient tombs. There's there's corruption.
Corruption.
Is the story grabbing you? Are you immersed in this world at all? Does it make any sense?
I could care less about the story. Okay. The story is not good. I'll tell you. It's an MMO story. It's not like FF14 or even WoW where they like are really engaged into the story and the lore. I am, for the most part, caring about leveling and getting this item to do this item to do this item, which means I have to level this, which means I have to like use my pickaxe to mine all of this. So I like it because I'm like strategizing how I'm gonna like level up, do this quest, and also what I'm gonna build. So right now I'm really focused on leveling up my mining so I can mine a certain ore called star metal ore, so I can build weapon like these tools, pickaxe, sickle, like all of these, so that I can pick things faster.
Right.
That's my goal right now.
Sounds like you're playing an MMO.
Yeah. That's an MMO right there.
Yeah. Also, I own a house, so I bought a house, and you can buy a house in the settlement. And if you, I think, have enough sort of stuff in it, or I haven't quite figured it out, but you can basically have a certain tier in the house, and it'll be shown to the public.
Oh.
So the public will see your house, like what you have in it. But the houses are good because you put trophies in there, and the trophies give you bonuses. So it's good to buy a house.
Good to buy a house, even in real life.
Yeah.
So I have 2 questions.
Good.
2 important questions. With one precursor question.
MMOs, and 6 follow-ups questions.
Yeah. No, MMOs, at least a lot of the modern MMOs, have 2 different kinds of end game that everyone is striving towards. There is cooperative raids and dungeons, and then there is more of a PvP. My precursor question: is this leaning in any of those directions? Do you know what the end game is yet?
I've seen some people complain about the PvP and some of the end game because I watched a little bit of it. I'm not at the end game yet, but I've done some of the dungeons or like raids in the beginning, and
the cooperative experiences.
They suck.
Yeah.
They're not. They're just generic. Like there's nothing special about them.
Yeah.
Like you do them and it's like.
I mean, is it challenging?
Yeah.
Is it a real exercise in teamwork?
Oh, I mean, the teamwork is like you do damage, I heal you. There's not like strategy. I know there's one. I haven't played it yet, but you have to do puzzles and they're simple. It's not like too hard.
Yeah.
But I think what people are liking and what the end game is right now that people are having a lot of fun with is being in these faction battles.
Yeah.
Or
okay,
these like guild battles. Because what's happening right now is there's probably like 9 or so areas in this continent that you can control. And each faction can control like a certain amount. So right now mine owns 3 out of, the 9 or something like that. One owns another 3, the other one owns, like another 3 or 4, so it's probably like 10. But what you could do is you can go to war to spread your area.
Yeah.
So that's what's happening right now. There's a lot of wars. People are like warring to like get more territory. And it's costly.
And that's
you have to spend,
more
you
of a
spend like
PvP?
Yeah, that's a PvP. Yeah. So the war is PvP where you go fight another settlement or capturing a fort. I haven't done any PvP because it's kind of, I'd say, pointless at my level.
Right.
There is some balance that you can fight like a higher level at your level, but there's no fun in that.
So what level are you and what is max level?
I'm 39 right now and max level is 60.
Oh, so you're a significant way there. Like you're
but
40.
I have
a
lot of hours.
Yeah, it's an MMO.
It's not like I'm not. Some people just like grind just levels just to get to the bottom, but I'm kind of taking my time and doing it like how I explain it to someone. It's Minecraft style.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like I'm doing some mining, I'm doing some wood cutting, I'm doing some fishing. Like it's some fun stuff.
And all of that is progressing you to an end game.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Leveling up those skills allows you to craft end game gear.
Okay.
So that's why I'm spending more time doing that now.
Okay, and so it sounds like their focus might be this faction battle type thing.
Yes, that it looks. Yeah. It's really fun. I'd say like from looking at people, and then also you can join these defense ones where it's the corruption will like invade, and you have to defend the settlement. And if the corruption successfully invades, they'll downgrade stuff in the settlement. So each like a forge or a wood cutting table or stone cutting table, those have levels, and based on those levels, you can craft like a higher tier item.
And how are they getting levels?
You have to. The guild has to decide, has like a governing table, and they'll put money or something towards doing it. So after a period of time, it'll upgrade.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So they'll decide, okay, this is the project we're gonna do.
That's cool.
We're gonna upgrade it. Yeah, it is pretty inclusive for how kind of not bare bones, but just like how simple the concept is.
I said the end games of MMOs are always a raid or a PvP battle, but it sounds like the end game is like
so people
civil
people
leadership.
Rushed end game, and then it's like, wow, I never spent the time to level up all these other skills. Now I have to go back and level up all those skills.
You just have to fish for
items.
hours.
Yeah.
I the fishing skill is just like you could detect better. I think I haven't really seen why you would level up fishing. It takes a long while. Like I'm level 20. That's a pretty high.
How are you going to catch a big fish if your fishing level isn't high enough?
Boom.
So the fishing kind of works like Terraria fishing, which I don't know if how familiar you guys are with Terraria, but
I have not fished in Terraria.
You can get these crates, and the crates have money or like items. So that's the benefit of fishing, is you can fish for a rare crate.
Yeah.
Which I've gotten a couple times, and it's been pretty worthless. Or you rare fish, and what you do with the fish is you can salvage them for items. So there's this hammer fish. It literally looks like a hammer. You salvage it for ore. It's pretty great.
Nice.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it's like, it's almost not like pointless either, but it's intuitive. And you know what? It's a lot of walking. It's old school MMO. You walk to get to these areas. You walk to your quests. Sometimes you can fast travel and be lucky, but it's like, why would I waste my Azoth to travel when I could just walk? So you walk and see the land and run into people, and like you'll see a random person, and I'm a healer, so like sometimes I'll just heal someone if they're like fighting something.
That's cool.
It's fun. Yeah.
Ted, you had a few more questions?
No, that was it. I was mostly concerned about end game stuff. What are people striving for?
Yeah, I know some people have complained about a lot of stuff, but I haven't reached there. Once I do, we'll talk more about it.
Yeah.
But for right now, I think $40. This is a pretty solid MMO. I don't know how you review this game without putting like 100 hours into it though. So the initial reviews are going to be interesting.
Yes, this is more just our talk about it. So I have a question for you, James. From where you've played other MMOs throughout your life.
Yeah, I haven't probably played as much as I have this one. Definitely.
Okay, because I've only played World of Warcraft when I was young.
I played World of Warcraft. I leveled a character to 20, and then I quit.
It's probably what I did.
It was not fun.
Yeah. Ted, have you played a lot of MMOs?
I played World of Warcraft in its heyday
Mm-hmm.
a lot, although I don't have any end game chops necessarily.
Mm.
And then when when Cataclysm expansion came out, is when I bounced because I was upset, and I tried a couple other, I guess what you call Eastern MMOs.
Yeah.
Oh,
The
okay.
Korean or
Yeah, I don't even remember all of them, but like Aion, the Terra. Do you guys remember these?
remember
These were hot Korean MMOs at the time, and I bounced off of all of them.
Okay.
remember
Um,
Magic and was it Taboria?
No, I
Kanto,
do not.
remember
You
that?
guys are naming
No.
some MMOs
Yeah.
I didn't know.
You know,
There are a lot of MMOs out there that have come and gone.
So
Yeah, true.
what about New World stands out? Why would someone play this rather than World of Warcraft that's
I think
established?
what stands out
I know
is
what-
that it's
I know.
really easy.
Okay.
You I think anyone who's never played an MMO can easily approach this because you have basically 3 buttons for skills
Hmm.
and 4 buttons for potions, and that's it. And you left click and you right click, and it's really, it just reminds me of like, playing a very simple like kind of fighting style Dark Souls.
Yeah.
You don't have like 20 buttons that like other MMOs have, or different skills that you can swap in.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty
Yeah.
cut and dry what you can do and how you do it. So I think that's why it's simple to play,
Okay.
hard to master.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's cool. I've heard this game can be played with the controller pretty easily as well. Like I heard it's not.
I
cumbersome.
could see it be played with control really easily.
What about it do you not like so far? You seem pretty high on it. Are there things that stand out that you don't
Yeah.
like?
So what I don't like is some things are a little bit buggy. Which again, like something like this will be buggy, but
Yeah.
you'll like the combat can sometimes not load properly.
Yeah.
Like you'll fight and attack, and then it'll like then you fight and attack. Like it'll lag sometimes, which it's understandable. Like that happens, but
Yeah, but also
it takes you right out of it though. What happens?
This is a first-party release from Amazon, who also owns the servers that control the internet. So if they are still having
Basically.
trouble with MMO lag, then this might just be
everyone-
an issue. This might just be a deeper issue than,
Yeah.
buying server
Yeah,
time.
yeah. So I mean, also
I've heard server lag is kind of the biggest flaw right now, which that's what MMOs have. So
It's
yeah,
wild.
it's just lag sometimes in fights, and sometimes when you like go see like an ore or a plant to harvest,
Mm-hmm.
it'll just appear, but you actually can't harvest it because it's actually gone. It just showed
that
it appeared.
sucks.
That sucks.
Yeah, because so like when you mine something, it's gone for everyone until it respawns.
Okay.
yeah.
So sometimes you'll like be like competing with someone to go and like mine something, and it's like, oh, they got it. Well,
Well,
they got it.
fuck.
Now I gotta wait like 2 minutes or something.
Huh.
Yeah, it's. I think it's fun that way. It
Yeah.
shouldn't be like anyone can get it anytime. I like that aspect of it.
And then weapon-wise, are there? It just sounds like swords, shields,
Swords,
bows, magic.
They're adding way more too. There's bows, magic. There's like fists that can like shoot ice and stuff. There's guns. They're gonna add, I think they're gonna add daggers. Someone was telling me.
Okay.
Like some different types of swords too. So there's a variety of weapons, and they all do like have different types of like special attack moves. That like
Right.
my guy
Yeah.
like spins sometimes, and I can bleep.
Okay.
and backstab someone. So there's little stuff, and then like the healing staff has all these different types of specs. So basically, you use the weapon to level up the weapon to spec stuff,
Right.
to like have it do more stuff, or like. So it's all about leveling. The game is purely mastering and leveling your.
Purely grinding and leveling.
Yeah, so you could just literally chop down trees all day and be a master lumber like expert.
And my final question for you: can you play this game by yourself, and would it be enjoyable?
I actually play by myself currently. I think sometimes playing with someone, which I was playing with someone, it can sometimes not be enjoyable because especially if you're doing like the same quest or different quests,
Uh-huh.
it's kind of hard because you're splitting reresources too. Like if you see something to mine, it's like, oh, you mine it. No, you mine
really?
it.
It's not shared.
So I think it's enjoyable by yourself.
Oh, wow.
Personally, I'm having. It feels like when I played Minecraft by myself, like kind of like relaxing, like sometimes going out in the wilderness, chopping down trees, hunting stuff, and
Very cool.
Yeah.
That's cool that it
and
can be
then
played alone.
yeah, you can have PvP enabled at any time except for settlements, but I just don't feel I need a PvP.
Mhm.
Like I'm trying to just enjoy right now, and then PvP later.
I'm trying to relax, James.
Yeah, it's a relaxing game. You put on some Spotify, you play the game, and it's like the old MMOs days when I used to play RuneScape. Like it doesn't
Right.
Yeah. How is the sound? Is it like good sound design, or is it kind of
really good sound
Oh,
design.
okay.
I'm surprised how well I could. I mean, with these episodes, I could like hear like something like coming from like a mile away, like trying to attack me, and
Listen,
I know.
World of Warcraft has really fallen from graces, but they have some dang good sound effects.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and
Oh,
it's
yeah.
beautiful. Like the game looks great. It sometimes feels when I'm walking in an area that I'm playing Witcher.
Wow.
That's how good it's looking. Yeah,
Wow. It takes just as long as The Witcher too. It's pretty cool.
it takes way longer than The Witcher.
I would say it didn't take nearly as long.
Yeah, I could have beat The Witcher twice already.
That's crazy. I would love to beat it one day. I just don't have the time. Just too much stuff. James, any final thoughts on the new world before we move on? I think we've covered pretty.
I'll probably be playing a lot more.
Good.
I'm starting to slow down right now because once you get into like the 40s to 50s, it starts.
Oh yeah.
slowing down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Are there
So-
mounts? Need a
No
mount?
mounts. No
No
mounts. You
mount.
walk.
Excuse me.
That's what I'm saying. This is a real man's MMO.
I'm not-
You walk everywhere and fast travel sometimes.
I want a mount. Damn it.
No, there's
I
no
want-
mounts. You
I think
walk.
half the reason I played World of Warcraft was just to slowly work my way up to getting a tiger that I could ride.
Ted,
Exactly. You've been.
real men walk.
Yeah.
Okay, you not hear James?
You don't
Here we
ride
go.
an animal.
Here we go.
No. Do you drive a car or do you walk to work?
I drive a car.
I walk. All right.
don't.
No, I don't. Sometimes I do, but not all the time. All right. Enough about the new world. Let's talk about our world and what we've been
about the old
playing.
world.
The old world. Have you guys been playing anything that we're not reviewing? I've been playing Kenna, Bridge of Spirits, which we're going to review next week. So I'm not going to talk about it, but I've been playing it. I got some thoughts on it, James. I'm excited to talk
Me
to you
too.
about it. Wonderful. I'm
Good.
going to leave it right there. Ted,
Good.
what have you been playing? Anything?
I've been playing more Pokemon Unite.
Okay,
You
yeah.
guys. Okay.
No,
I've
I'll
gotten
give
everyone
him some
into it.
time. Give him some time.
I've gotten everybody into it. And I think this game is
He has not also. We are not into this game. It's just other people.
No.
yeah, other people. So biggest downside is that ranked can't be played with like
It has a
certain
rank.
it has a ranked. Oh yeah. And it's there's a ranked.
James's disdain with asking that question was awesome.
Jesus.
It has a ranked.
But like there's certain denominations that you can't play, so you can't play with 4 people ranked. It has to be a squad of 5, which is a real bummer.
Yeah.
Um
So it's like Call of Duty Warzone Resurgence.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, fine. It's a lot of fun. I think it's a lot of fun because this is like a mobile game that's Pokemon, so like a very broad spectrum is playing this.
Pokemon
And
Go.
so when you get 3, 4, 5 people who have been playing MOBAs for the past 10 years and who know how to play video games, up against actual children, it's a lot of fun to just wipe the floor. I don't know how to describe it. That game continues to be a lot of fun.
Good.
Yeah,
Who's your main Pokemon? Who are you maining?
I'm maining Venusaur.
Right, that's
at
what we
the
talked
moment.
about last week. Okay.
Yeah,
okay. I was seeing if he changed.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Charizard.
As you should. Best Pokemon of
Yeah.
all time.
Charizard's very good. He's kind of he's a brawler. Both the way I'm specking him, both of his abilities like are gap closers. So I just get in close and then I can't get away, which is super fun.
Okay.
But yeah, I was kind of expecting to fall off of this game pretty hard once kind of the initial like
Yeah.
welcome to the game quests ran out. But it is really fun to just group up with a couple people and play this basically a sports game. And I'm continuing to have a lot of fun with it. Highly
Nice.
recommend.
Uh,
Highly recommend you check it out at the very least.
I have a question, and then I don't want to talk anymore about Pokemon Unite. I'm going to be very
Okay.
honest. Okay.
Okay.
How many Pokemon are there available for you to play? Because there are like 9,000 Pokemon. And the real question is, Ted, the real question for James and I, can you play as Vanillite?
Yes.
So I can answer that second part. No.
What the fuck?
But I have to admit to you, and I think this is a personal fault of myself. I don't fucking know Pokemon. I really know like the original 151,
Same.
and I kind of know the Sword and
Johto?
Shield ones because I
Oh.
played Sword and Shield or Sword.
Okay.
And I don't know anybody in between. So like, there's Pikachu, there's Charizard, there's Venusaur, and there's Blastoise.
And then there's others.
And then there's others.
I bet you Lucario's in it.
Lucario is.
They
in
really
there.
like Lucario.
Yeah, and I know that because he was in Smash Brothers.
Exactly.
Greninja as well.
Oh God, yeah.
But like, there's an Eevee, but she evolves. They evolve into something that I don't recognize.
Yeah, because they got like Ice Fairy, Leaf, a bunch of shit.
I don't know which one it is. There's a Machamp. He's very fun.
Good.
Yeah.
Always needs to be. Ted, you mentioned you played Pokemon Sword and Shield. What did you think of Pokemon Sword? Just like for 20 seconds.
We've discussed this on the podcast.
All right, good, because I fucking hate that game.
Pokemon hasn't changed in 30 years, and it shows.
Okay, we did talk about this in the podcast.
Yeah. I'm grateful that I played it simply because there are like 4 Pokemon that I now recognize.
Right.
But yeah.
So
I think there are maybe 15 total characters that you can play.
Okay.
It's pretty small. There is a plan to add more, as there is with all MOBAs. But I honestly don't know a lot of them. I'm just shouting like, furry guy, crit guy,
Furry guy.
Yeah. So
Nice.
I'm not a good Pokemon person, and I'm not a good MOBA person, but I'm a good team player.
Good.
Nice. That is true.
Before we end the show, I want to say one last thing. Did you guys see that Sora was going to be the final DLC character for Smash Bros?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's gnarly.
I actually, someone was like saying that last time, like it should be Sora, and actually crazy that's happening.
I think that's a great way for us to, as a both a community and a culture worldwide to just transition into the Viacom fighting game that is Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl or whatever that fucking game is.
It's apparently not terrible.
No, apparently it's very good.
Apparently
it's very competitive for what I see. It is. You can do some crazy things.
Though apparently there's no licensed Nintendo or Nickelodeon music or like sound effects or something.
It sounds.
Yeah.
There's no voices.
The general gist that I've heard is it does not look like they were given a large budget.
No.
But they were very good at making a Smash Brothers-esque game.
Yeah.
Yeah. It has the legs. That's what I'll say. Like if it can be given them some more IP,
that'd be cool. I'll play it for $20 when it goes on sale.
Yeah, I think it's a good $20.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I recently had a revelation that iCarly and Drake and Josh are both technically Nickelodeon characters. So fingers crossed for DLC.
You can't use Drake anymore though. He's in hot water.
Yeah, you can't use Drake.
That's true.
Yeah, you can only use Josh Peck.
I'll get the new Josh.
Yeah. Maybe it'll be him from the Turner and Hooch show on Disney Plus.
That's Disney, not Viacom.
Do you know they killed off Tom Hanks' character in the Turner and Hooch universe?
You're watching that?
No. I just read an article about how they killed off Tom Hanks because they know they can never get him to guest on the show, so they killed him off. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching this Thesideescape Gaming Podcast, episode 73, where you get all of your news on Turner and Hooch Disney Plus show that you'll ever need. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next week.
#1 Turner and Hooch podcast.
Roof.